Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Dumbest Moments of the Week. Today we got some pretty interesting new dumb moments from Alex, to say the least. Not only has she ruined an Amazon deal that was set to give thousands of jobs to her district in New York, but also, it appears Cortez may have hired her boyfriend as one of her assistants in Congress. Nepotism much? Then there's also a few other blunders she had, like claiming everyone's obsessed with her again, and first, of course, how self-centered of her. And also, Cortez made some other pretty dumb statements this week, which we'll get into, clearly showing she knows nothing about what she's talking about. We're going to get to all these juicy moments and more today, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first embarrassing story about Alex comes from the Daily Mail. Its lengthy but accurate title goes as follows. Amazon hits out at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for foiling their plan to build their second headquarters in New York, with months of vitriol and claims she refused to meet with them and created a hostile environment. Well, so much for toxic masculinity at the workplace. Sounds to me like the liberals need to start keeping their toxic femininity in check first. Femininity, something like that. And what a great first month on the job AOC is having this year, huh? Not only is she making a fool of herself online constantly, she's also costing her city and constituents jobs and millions of dollars. This is the kind of first quarter performance that would get someone like AOC fired in a real job, on the spot. It's like if you were the CEO of, say, a beer company, and you were hired to sell more beer this year, and then in the first month you blow the biggest deal your company has had in ages. Not a good look. And that beer company leader would probably get ridiculed and most likely fired, but AOC will receive neither of those. In fact, the media will continue to prop Alex up, like how they have been from the beginning, despite Cortez having glaring flaws and huge missteps all along the way. And well, even though Alex has already blown this situation beyond repair, and there's nothing much worse than that, but let's go ahead and read on in this story anyway, and see what else is going on. Amazon has hit out at congressional newcomer Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her Democratic peers for creating an unjust, hostile environment that led to the withdrawal of their New York headquarters plan. The online retailer announced on Thursday that they were pulling the plug on their proposal to create a second headquarters in New York's Long Island City. Speaking out about the withdrawal on Friday, Amazon's head of policy communications, Jody Seth, pointed blame at Ocasio-Cortez and her anti-Amazon rhetoric. Seth said it wasn't any one incident, but months of vitriolic political discourse, perpetuated by the likes of AOC, that ultimately resulted in the company's decision to look for a new branch to its Seattle base. Wow, absolutely stunning and embarrassing. Can't say I'm completely surprised this kind of attitude was coming from AOC though. She's a freshman Democrat with no experience, and a head that's bigger and emptier than the Grand Canyon. I really think Alex is a narcissist. She thinks of herself as some kind of holier-than-thou celebrity too, but let's not get too sidetracked yet. The problem here really comes back to her inexperience. Alex was waiting tables and serving martinis less than a year ago. The only thing she's ever negotiated in her life was whether or not she had to work a single or double shift at Applebee's on the weekend. Those college game days get real busy. So the people who expected Alex to act professional and to do well in these situations, they're really the ones to blame here. And while a lot of that fault goes on the 16,000 or so people from New York who voted for her, there's also even more blame on the left-wing establishment and the media who keep propping Alex up. Like I said, Alex only garnered less than 17,000 votes in her lifetime, ever. And that's really not that much, all things considered. Shit, the incumbent she was going up against only lost by like 4,000 votes. Not exactly a landslide there either. But you'd think by the way Cortez acts, and by the way the media holds her in high regard, you'd think she had won a big national election with millions and millions of people supporting her and voting. But really, it's not like that at all. And all this hype has resulted in failures like this Amazon deal happening, which won't be the first time she screws up something either. Mark my words. Next, let's jump over to the second big dumb Alex moment of the week. This one involves Cortez giving an interesting government privilege to her current boyfriend. His name is Riley Roberts, and normally, yes, I would say spouses and family should be mostly left alone, but AOC is the one who chose to get him involved when she did this. Before we get to the specifics though, let's take a look at her boyfriend. Here's Riley Roberts, and well, he sure looks like a straight white male to me. Funny how so many of the biggest leftists and social justice warriors will talk so much shit about whites and men, but then at the end of the day, they still end up dating, banging, and marrying guys like us. It's almost like they have some kind of crazy psychological complex or something. It's like they have white guilt for being attracted to white men, who in their minds should have their own white guilt. It's sort of like white guilt by association, something like that. And Cortez dating a white guy really reminds me of MTV's Francesca Ramsey. She's a rabid SJW too, who constantly hates on white males, but just like AOC, Franny lays in bed with a white male every night. She's married to one even, and I'm willing to bet AOC will be too one day. But now let's get to what actually happened with AOC's boyfriend. Recently it was discovered that she gave her boyfriend a congressional email account, something that's supposed to be reserved for government representatives and employees and staff only. So this initially made people think AOC had hired her boyfriend, but actually now they claim that's not the case. For more details, let's turn to an article about the story called Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Faces Questions After Her Boyfriend Gets Congressional Email Account. Check this out. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is facing ethics questions after revelations the freshman lawmaker's office gave her boyfriend a congressional email account. The Democratic Socialist waded into the issue in response to a tweet alleging boyfriend Riley Roberts had been put on staff. The tweet included a screenshot of an official House email address. Ocasio-Cortez insisted he was only given the email account so he could access her calendar. That's not the only thing he's accessing. Actually, this calendar designation is a permission so he can have access to my Google Calendar. Congressional spouses get GCal access all the time, Ocasio-Cortez wrote, after political consultant Luke Thompson tweeted the picture showing Roberts having an official account like other staffers on the Hill. Next time, check your facts before you tweet nonsense. Yeah, but here's the thing, AOC. He's not your spouse. You're not married, nor are you in some kind of big public relationship everyone knows about. So yeah, initially you giving a congressional email to some guy you're sleeping with currently is a bit suspect. Ignoring that is just you being defensive and dishonest. This was also easily avoidable too. You could have just emailed your boo a schedule once a week or something. That sure would have helped to keep him out of the public eye in this controversy, but really, I could care less about this one. This is just a dumb, stupid, bad PR move Alex is trying to recover from. It doesn't affect many more people like her blowing that Amazon deal, but it is another sign that she's young, dumb, and very inexperienced. Asked about the arrangement, David O'Boyle, the spokesperson for the Office of the Chief Administration Officer, told Fox News, from time to time, at the request of members, spouses and partners are provided House email accounts for the purposes of viewing the members' calendar. But Jason Chaffetz, former chairman of the House Oversight Committee, said Ocasio-Cortez claims don't stack up. It's totally naive and inappropriate. You wouldn't allow it in most companies, let alone the House of Representatives. There should be real consequences, Chaffetz told Fox News. And I have to say, I can see where he's coming from here. Again, like we did before, think about this situation as if it was happening to a random executive at some company, like say a beer company. And let's say that executive not only blew their big deal of the year, he also is now giving his girlfriend a company email and calendar access to the company's schedule. This of course would seem highly inappropriate here, and in most situations, but because Alex is cute and a Democratic darling, she could basically get away with murder. If she did kill someone, the liberal media would cover that murder up for her, and probably even frame another suspect to get her off. Finally, before we go, I want to address one more comment about these recent AOC scandals. What really annoys me is this notion that conservatives are obsessed with AOC. This is a counterpoint many leftists will try and make when right-leaning guys like myself go after Alex. Really, it's just completely false and juvenile. It's also usually done with a sexist flair to it, implying that conservatives are obsessed with AOC because she's supposedly such a hot female. Please. I may mention AOC's attractiveness from time to time, but that has little to do with why we criticize her. And even if I were being generous, I would only say AOC is kind of hot, like maybe good looking. She's certainly not ugly or terrible, but she's also not really hot or attractive either. And this is all looks based too, because once Alex starts talking, she loses a point every word. It's not just her high-pitched baby voice either. It's the really dumb things she says, and it's the narcissism that kills me. Regardless, many liberals will make this claim, like how the Washington Post does here. But really, I wouldn't say we're obsessed with AOC at all. Really, it's the liberals who are. They're the ones propping up a 29-year-old bartender who barely got 16,000 votes. The mainstream media is treating Alex like Democratic royalty, when she has really done nothing but ruin things and say dumb shit, time and time again. That's why me and others have been debunking and laughing at her constantly. It's because the media won't stop talking about AOC, so we won't stop either. This is like saying to me, hey, no bullshit, you're obsessed with feminism. That's why you talk about it all the time. No, I talk about how dumb feminism is because the media and movies and TV always push it on us day after day. So basically, if the left wasn't pushing feminism or AOC so much, we wouldn't have to talk about them and debunk them and break down their bad arguments. But they do this all the time, so we have to talk about it too. And the cycle continues on and on. It's the circle of life. Dog eat dog, winner take all, and well, I hate to break it to everyone, but we're still winning over and over over again. What do you guys think? Is AOC to blame for Amazon pulling out of New York City? Should they have pulled out at all? I sure wish I had pulled out a few times in my day. And what do you think about AOC giving her boyfriend a government email? Is that appropriate for a newly elected first-time politician? Comment your thoughts on all this below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.